I remember wanting to make money online and I started to get into all of these businesses, right? E-com, agency, all of these business models. And I started to focus on all the work tasks, right? Like the outreach, setting up the website, all of that stuff. And I worked on it and I focused on it. But you see, I never made any progress. I never made any money. And it was because I was focused on the wrong thing. You see, back then I was a bit of a jahil and I thought that my deen was not connected to my dunya, that the deen was for the akhirah, it was for the day of judgment, and I can focus on the deen. I can be a good Muslim when I'm like 40 years old, 50 years old, after I've started to make money, after I've like set myself up, and like the deen can be focused on later, it's just a distraction for now. So I wasn't praying, I was committing sins, I wasn't on the right path, and that was the reason I never made any money. That was the reason I never made any progress. And even if I did somehow magically make some money, there was no barakah in it. It was like sand in your hand, right? When you clench your fist and how sand just drips and slips away from you. That's how my money was back then. You see, I wish I understood that the fundamental principle is that our deen is not only connected to our akhirah, but there is a direct link between our deen and our businesses. That if you are on deen, you are so much more likely to make more money and you will most definitely have more barakah. And this is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us in the Quran, that like pray, tell your families to pray, be consistent in your prayers and I will provide for you. Like Allah is the Ar-Razaq, it's His duty to provide for us. Especially when you are focused on your prayers, especially when you are focused on your deen. And think about it, when the azan goes off for prayer times, right? It says, come to success, come to success. Literally, praying will help you in your business. You will have more barakah, you will make more money. And it's not only with just praying in general, but it's as your deen as a whole. You can be doing more istighfar, you can be more grateful, right? You can be saying alhamdulillah more, saying astaghfirullah more, doing more dhikr, right? All of this stuff will help you in your business. And I wish I understood this, and this is the reason I'm starting off with this, because this is the cheat code. This is the one thing that will make everything so easy for you, that will make business easy for you, that will help you not only be on the right path, not only be like making progress on the right path in your akhirah, going towards Jannah inshallah, but you will also be having a good time, a decent time where your days are filled with barakah in this life, in business. And of course, I'm not telling you, let's get on deen guys so we can like make 10k a month, we can make 20k a month. No, of course not. Like Jannah is still the end goal, right? Of course. But being on deen helps us with our business, especially when our intention is right, especially when our intention is pure, that we want to do it for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that we want to grow our businesses so we can have more freedom to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala more, we can provide for our families, our moms, our future wives, all of this stuff, right? When you have the right intention, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala inshallah will make it easy for you. He will add barakah to it. And another thing is, when you are on deen, when you have that tawakkul, when you have that trust in Allah, it's just easy for you mentally, the game of business. Like you might go through hard times, you might go through hard things, of course. Some days you win, some days you lose, but you can make things work. Those goals that you think are so big, right? Like 10k a month, 20k a month, 100k a month, all of those goals become easier because you have that tawakkul, you have that trust in Allah. Like think about it, the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, a man born in a desert 1400 years ago, has influenced and has his message spread and like changed billions and billions of lives. Think about that. Isn't that crazy? There are influencers today with so much leverage, with so much like potential, right? Like they have social media, they can literally reach billions and billions of lives just through their phones. Yet none of them have influence like that. None of their message spreads like that. And why did some man, not some man, it was the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, but how can some man in like the desert have so much influence? How can he change so many lives? Through the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So there is no need for you to have a scarcity mindset. There's no need for me to have a scarcity mindset, because we're on the right path. we have the right intention, and through Allah's will, we can get any goal we want, like 100k a month, a million a month. All of those are possible through Allah's will. And if you are on deen, if you're connected to Allah, everything else just becomes easier. It just flows more. And having said that, I do want you to know that you still need to tie the camel. You still need to do the actions, because back in the day, I remember like I would wake up, I would go on my phone, even if I was praying Fajr, I would pray Fajr and I'll go on my phone, let's look at the group chat, let's go scroll social media, this, that, right? And I wasn't putting in the work. I wasn't doing the actions. I was procrastinating. I was getting continuously distracted by random things. And of course, it was hard for me to make progress. Of course it was. I wasn't even doing anything. Business is still that game of cause and effect. It's still like Newton's third law, right? Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. You still need to do things. You still need to put in the work. You still need to put in the effort. And inshallah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will reward you for the effort you put in. Think about the bird. After Fajr, all the birds leave their nests, right? They don't stay at home at the little nest like little bums, right? They still go out, seek provision, seek their rizq. Of course, their rizq is coming through Allah, but they still have to go out and seek it. They still have to go out and find the food for that day, find the food for their little birdies, right? And it's the same for us, baby. We need to, of course, go seek our rizq, go put effort in, be on deen and put in the work, put in the effort, do the actions, and be consistent with it. The Prophet, peace be upon him, told us that the dearest of actions to Allah are those actions that are small and consistent. You need to continuously show up. You need to show up every single day. No weekends off. What type of man takes weekends off? Show up every single day. Put in the work every single day. Even if it's like maybe you do 2 hours of work, 4 hours of work, 6 hours of work, whatever it is. I'm not saying like let's go spend like 16-hour days while we're neglecting our deen. Of course not. Put in those 4 hours of focused work. Put on those 6 hours of focused work. Get stuff done. Get things done. Put in the effort. Put in the actions while you are on deen, while you're seeking knowledge, while you're learning about from the Quran, you're reading, praying your salah, all of those things. But go put in the effort. Go like be on deen and be consistent with it. And that inshallah will like really transform your life, because it has for me. Like there were so many times where even if I was on deen, but let's say if I wasn't even on deen, it has been times where I wasn't even on deen. Sometimes I would wake up at 5 in the morning, right? Not pray Fajr, get to work, but I wouldn't show up the day after. I wouldn't show up for 2-3 days after. I would still sleep in. I wouldn't even like work that much because I had slept in and my productivity is ruined for the day. If you can like fix your deen, if you can like focus in on the actions you need to do. If you're in business, there's only 2, 3, 4 actions you need to do on a consistent basis that will get you an insane amount of results. If you can just show up and do those actions, you inshallah will make the money. You will get the reward, the rizq you are looking for, with the right intention, with that connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Just be consistent with it. And look, Allah will test you. In my business, I have been tested so many times. I've gone almost like 2 years without having made a single dollar online. Think about it. I was doing e-com, I was doing drop shipping, I was doing agency, everything, right? I was on YouTube. I tried so many things, trying to send these like personal trainer things and everything, bro. And for 2 years, almost 2 years, I didn't make a single dollar. But I kept going. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had gifted me with this desire, right? So I kept going. I kept like pushing forward, making progress, no matter what, trying to read this book, trying to figure this thing out. And for 2 years, I got nowhere. And suddenly, I remember I made my first $50 sale, then a 1K sale. And Allah tested me again. The guy refunded. Think about it, I got paid 1K after 2 years of business, of like continuously like struggling, trying. And I got a payout of $1,000 from one guy, like a high ticket client, right, kind of. And he refunded the day after. Think about that. Of course that was a test. I could have quit there. I could have said, nah, this online business thing, my mom is right, my dad is right, my brother is right. This online business thing doesn't work. It's a bit of a scam, blah, blah, blah. But I trusted in Allah. Alhamdulillah, I was on deen. I had that connection with Allah. Allah gave me the tawfiq. Allah helped me and guided me. That I trusted in Him. I had that tawakkul and I pushed through. Again, like a week later, 2 weeks later, I made a 1K sale that, and this time the guy didn't refund, right? It's exactly that. You will have to be patient. You will have to have sabr because Allah will test you to see how patient you are. Think about it. Prophet Musa alayhi salam, he wanted to have a child. And Allah made him wait. Allah tested him for 80 years before he gave him a child, right? That's exactly that. Hopefully Allah doesn't test us for that long, but you get my point, right? You're going to have to be patient. You're going to have to have sabr. You're going to have to consistently show up in your deen, in your work, do the actions for 3 months, for 6 months, a year, 2 years, and then you might start making money. Then you might see the results. But always remember, like, if you can just do those 3 things, show up consistently and do the actions, be on deen, you will, inshallah, win on a long enough time frame. The only way you can guarantee that you never win is that you quit. Is that you try for 3 months, you try for 2 weeks, you try for a month, you try for 6 months, and you quit. You're like, oh, this isn't for me. This thing isn't gonna work. You need to keep going. You need to keep pushing forward, and inshallah, through the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, things will work out for you. And the last thing I want to touch on is your intention. I touched on this earlier as well, but you need to like have a good intention, an intention that's set according to the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, on the right path. And this is why I hate these like business models, right? Like agency, influencer marketing agency, drop shipping. What Muslim wakes up, what type of man wakes up and is like, oh yeah, I'm so passionate about helping chiropractors. Oh, you know, may Allah help me help these chiropractors, help these kuffar chiropractors touch women that they're not married to. Let's get these gym owners more females into their gym so they can cheat on their husbands with the personal trainer there. Oh, let me work with this influencer. I'm gonna get him a brand deal. It's gonna be great. You need the right intention. It's not going to come from these business models. You need to be in the right business model where you are genuinely maybe helping the ummah. You're genuinely helping a type of person, a type of people you actually care about. Because fundamentally, that's what business is, right? We as businessmen, we as entrepreneurs, go out, solve problems and help people. Every person in this dunya has problems, right? You can help anyone you want. Yet you choose to be like shallow and help like chiropractors. You decide to be shallow and help influencers. Well, you could be helping the ummah. You could be helping Muslims. Even if you are, let's say, helping kuffars, you could be helping them fix their health. You could be helping them fix something that's actually important rather than like helping chiropractors scale. You need to actually set your intention on like the path of Allah. Have that intention, like, I want to like help these people. I want to genuinely bring a change into the ummah. Like, for example, for me, yes, like my goals are 10k a month, 100k a month, but it's bigger than that. We're on a mission to genuinely like change the world. We're on a mission to genuinely change people's lives. It's not about like, oh, I just want to get to 10k a month. Oh guys, I want financial freedom. It's about genuinely having an impact. It's about genuinely changing people's lives. And that's what I want you to do as well. And it's not like just your mission statement. Like, I personally want to help our ummah. I want to help the Muslims through my videos, through my business, through the work I do. So the ummah can like be great again. So the ummah can rise again and have like such insane like positive influence, inshallah, over our ummah, over like the young Muslim men, over the young Muslim entrepreneurs, and help them and guide them and help them rise and help them become that better version of themselves in business, in life in general, right? And I can do that only and only through Allah's will, and inshallah we will. You need to have an intention that like Allah would want to bless, Allah would want to add barakah to. I hope that makes sense. Maybe I'm just yapping, but I hope this video is valuable for you. I want to thank you for the time. Go watch the video on the screen. Bye.